do this entire class seated. Now I'm gonna sit on my seat on a bolster. You're welcome to do the same or similar on a blanket, on the couch, on your bed, wherever feels most cozy to you, so that we can drop into the body. From whichever seat you've chosen tonight, maybe your legs are crossed, maybe they're lengthened, maybe they're stretched out wide. Take a moment and just decide, but choose what feels the most luscious, what brings the most ease to the low belly and the low back. That's why blankets and bolsters from the floor can be so juicy, because it helps support the spine. And then from your seat, you might close your eyes or just stare off into the fuzzy distance and find your breath in your body. Feel the expansion of the inhale, the softening and release of that exhale. Once you find that sensation, you might take a few cleansing breaths, big breaths into the belly and lungs on the inhale. And then as you exhale, release it nice and slow. Again, a big breath, filling the body as deep as that breath goes. And now release, let it go nice and slow. One last big breath in, filling the body, and then can you hold it at the top for just a moment, keeping the lungs and the belly full of air. Another moment or two. Let the shoulders relax from the ears, and then exhale that breath nice and slow. If you enjoyed that, one more time, fill the belly, fill the lungs, see how much air you can fit inside you, and hold that breath at the top. Another moment, and release, let it go nice and slow as the shoulders melt yet again. And then find your natural breath as it sits in your body. But as you hang out here, let the shoulders remain soft. Let the belly remain soft. Let even the jaw find softness and ease here. Your tongue finds a gentle home in the mouth. On an exhale of your choice, we'll start a little movement, lowering the face down towards the earth. Feeling the back of the neck lengthen here, the cervical spine. As you drop that forehead, can you invite even more space into the vertebra at the back of the neck? Let even the cheeks on your face soften towards the earth, growing heavy. And then from here, we're going to take our right ear and roll it on over towards that right shoulder, letting the head continue to hang heavy here. Maybe you notice that stretch at the back of the neck has shifted. Whatever shoulder or whatever ear is melting towards the shoulder, we typically feel that stretch on the back side, opposite side of the neck. On an exhale of your choice, melt the neck back down or the face back down towards the earth, lengthening through the back of the neck once more. From here, the opposite ear slowly rocks or rolls towards the shoulder. Both shoulders melting and releasing. Where do you feel the stretch? Can you let the neck grow long here? The shoulders soften and loosen. And then on an inhale of your choice, let the head float upright to neutral, nice and slow. From here, we lift the chin skyward until we feel the muscles along the front of the throat tighten. These are the platysma muscles, these big, thick bands from collarbone to jawline. And when we stretch the front of the throat, not only are we stretching through the whole front of the heart as well, but we're also helping to release the tense muscles all around the ears and jawline. Keeping the teeth softly closed here, feeling this length. And then keeping that chin pressed skyward, keeping this nice stretching effort. Roll that right ear over towards your right shoulder, nice and slow. What you might find is that the whole left side of your jaw from ear to chin is reaching skyward. Maybe you feel the stretch all along the front left side of the neck as well. Right? Face yoga with somatics. We're bringing deep awareness into what's happening. On an inhale of your choice, lift that chin back up. Exhale, opposite ear towards opposite shoulder. Maybe that right jawline is now reaching up towards the ceiling as the shoulders soften down. Breathing space into tightness here. We imagine with each inhale, the breath expands through all of the tension. And as you exhale, the muscles soften, lengthen, and release. When you're ready, the head floats up to neutral, nice and slow. With face yoga, the slowness is where we find our power and deep awareness. From here, we're going to release the muscles around the smile line. Now, if you relax your face, many of us find that our mouth naturally droops down. Again, that's because the front of our muscles, or the neck muscles here, those platysma muscles, they shorten from gazing down at phones, books, computers, right? And as those muscles shorten, it pulls the face down, right? These platysma muscles are attached to the orbicularis oris, this round muscle around the lips, and they pull the sides of it down. So, to counteract the downward slope of each side of the smile that you may or may not have, two things. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our fingertips to the top of each collarbone and gently press down on top of the collarbone. On an inhale, lift through that chin just like we did earlier. This time, you might really feel that stretch along the front of these platysma muscles here. Keeping that nice, firm, pinned sensation on the top of the collarbones. When you're ready, take a deep smile. From ear to ear, just as wide as you can smile. And hold for 3 breaths. In face yoga, I say, we look silly, but we feel great. And our skin glows, and our stress melts. On an exhale, release the face to neutral, release those platysma muscles. Let's do this twice more. We'll move a little swifter now. Pin the top of the collarbone. On an inhale, lift that chin, smile, and hold for 3 big breaths. Could you fill the body, the belly, and the lungs? And on an exhale, let it out nice and slow. Beautiful. On an exhale of your choice, lower back to neutral. From here, one more time. This time, instead of pinning those platysma muscles at the collarbone, we're going to do the same chin lift, feel the stretch, but this time we take our pointer fingers We're going to place it on either corner of our mouth and pull gently or press gently our mouth open. I know it looks silly, but wait. On an inhale, lift. On an exhale, press the lips open. You might even take an upward, gentle angle here as you really feel the front of the throat lengthen and tighten. And then on an exhale, release. Beautiful. The fun part about this is that when you're doing it at home in the mirror, you can see an instant difference between the before and after, which is always fun. From here, now that we've loved on our smile a little bit, we're gonna love a little further on the muscles around the jawline. So we'll do what I call the baby bird. From a nice long seat, on an inhale, you might find length through the spine. On an exhale, we turn towards the right, moving just the head and the neck as far as it goes. And then on an inhale, release back to neutral. This time the heel of the hand finds the temple. We're doing little isometric movements. So we want to turn the head, but the heel of the hand stops it. And we'll hold this pressure for 10 or so seconds. Keeping the jaw soft. We don't clench the jaw. We breathe deep into the belly, finding softness in the body. When you're ready, release, and then naturally turn the head again. Notice if there's more ease, maybe greater range of motion. And then keeping the head turned, you're gonna lift your chin skyward once more, noticing that you probably can't lift it quite as high with it turned all the way, and that's all right. You might hang out just like this. We're engaging the muscles around the jawline. You might take it even deeper, and this is where the silliness comes in. Stick your tongue up towards the ceiling. And you might notice what happens with the jawline when you do that. It pulls in, right? It engages all of the muscles. And we hold this for 3 or so breaths. You can see why it's called the baby bird. You're like, chirp, 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 mama, feed me. On an exhale of your choice, melt back to neutral. From a neutral spine, turn your head all the way in the opposite direction. Noticing how it feels, how far it goes. Release it back to neutral and then plant the heel of the hand, finding that isometric engagement. Sometimes in our somatic yoga classes, I like to take time to notice the muscles around the neck and where they are or are not fully engaged. So if we're pressing our head this way, you're gonna find that the front left of the neck really engages here. You might feel the right side of the neck. It's probably a bit engaged, but softer. Maybe everything is engaged. Just things to notice, no judgments, no good or bad, there is none. We just allow the experience to be. When you're ready, release the hand, the pressure, turn the head. How does it feel? When you're ready, lift that chin and baby bird the tongue if you'd like, holding for 3 breaths. On an exhale, release to neutral. On an inhale, switch sides. Turning all the way, lifting the chin, option to baby bird the tongue. If we struggle with grinding our teeth at night, with TMJ, with jaw pain, this is a wonderful tool to not only help relieve that, but help strengthen supporting muscles in the neck and the jaw to help relieve tension. When you're ready, switch sides. Take it nice and slow, finding that full rotation, then the chin lift, then the tongue lift. Invitation to breathe deep into the belly here. On your exhale, release back to neutral. Wonderful. From here, let's do a little seated cat-cow to further warm up the hips and the spine because we've been sitting in stillness for a little while from the shoulders down. So on an exhale, we're going to drop the forehead towards the earth and then curl the tailbone up towards the heart. And I do this by pressing down into my legs, right? Into the feet, whatever is on the floor, helping to tilt that pelvic bowl upward as the forehead melts down. Finding this nice C shape in the spine here. And then on an inhale, lift the chin. The heart lifts as well. And then maybe you arch the low back, making plenty of space for the belly in front. You can even plant the hands atop the thighs to help really pull that heart center forward, squeezing those shoulder blades gently back. And then moving with the breath on an exhale, tuck the tailbone, melt the forehead. Inhale, lift the chin and heart, pull that belly forward. Squeeze those shoulder blades, right? Moving with each breath, if that feels nice to you. On an exhale, melt into a neutral spine. From here, we're going to start some chest circles. So leading with the chest, you might imagine that there is a pencil right here, pointed graphite side up, and all you're going to do is draw circles on the ceiling with your body, right? Can you use this pencil to draw circles on the ceiling? And so we take it nice and slow. Getting into the whole pelvis, warming up the spine. Beautiful. Go ahead and switch directions when you're ready. And then an optional forward fold, pausing with a neutral spine. On an inhale, find length. On an exhale, take that length, hinging at the hips, melt the heart and the belly down. Only as far as you want to go. This can be an imperceptible little fold. We just want to stretch the muscles in the low back, maybe through the backs of the legs. You might keep your neck in alignment with the rest of your spine for a little while, letting the heart melt down. And then on an exhale, you might melt the head as well, finding once more a little C shape with the spine. And then on an inhale, walk the hands towards the body, curl up vertebra by vertebra. Head is the last to rise. Melt those shoulders from the ears when you're ready. From here, we're going to do a little self-massage. We don't need any oil yet, but it's going to prepare our skin for greater circulation and for lymph drainage. So the first thing that we're going to do is massage in the armpits and the underarms. And there are two ways to do this. You might try your karate chop, or I do either a karate chop or I make a C with my hand. And you might try a gentle rhythmic massage here. And we're going all the way from the bottom of the armpit here to halfway up the bottom of the upper arm. So just finding this whole space. We're using that massage to invite things to circulate. This gets the liver flowing and functioning too, right? Because we're going to take all that lymph fluid from up in the face and neck and invite it back down into the body to be recycled and either expelled or reused, right? We're eliminating the waste from the body. Now, if we don't enjoy the tapping, we just massage. So do what feels nice for you. You might notice this flesh underneath here is quite soft. We often call these like our bat wings or our chicken wings. That's because there's an enormous amount of lymph tissue here and fluid that collects. So by massaging or by karate chopping, we can really help this fluid recirculate through the body. And we do it for about 40 seconds. And then switch sides, lifting the opposite arm up. You can rest at the top of your head if you would like. And then just starting the stim, right? That massage, whichever way brings you joy and pleasure. Right? We're just inviting the fluid to get moving. All right. A few more moments, just like this, whichever method speaks to you. And then lower that when you're ready. The other place that lymph fluid likes to drain, and there are 3 of them, is right behind the collarbone here. So we press to the tops of our collarbones, and you might do that now, and then you might slide those fingertips right behind the collarbone and do a little back and forth massage. For some folks that feels great. For others, they enjoy a little tapping on the tops of the collarbones from side to side. Either way, prepping the body for this is beautiful. You could do this even any time that you do skincare. Whether you do it for a couple seconds or for as long as we're doing it, doesn't matter. There are benefits, right? And then the last place is behind the ears or underneath the ears. So what we do is we take our peace signs and then we're sliding it over the ear. And I'm just pressing my fingertips in towards my skull and then finding a little circle here. And then we're doing it on either side. This can feel great. You might really get in there, massage the muscles as well. Ooh, get down underneath the jawline, right? We're really inviting the circulation, knowing that this only benefits us on so many levels. Stress relief, bringing vitamins and nutrients to the skin of the face and neck, flushing out old cells, flushing out the means with which inflammation collects. When you're ready, release the hands. And then from here, let's just give ourselves a little scalp massage. So taking your fingertips, we're gonna start around the ears on either side, like little headphones, and just do what I call the jellyfish, right? With the fingertips. So we widen them out and then close them back together. Jellyfishing. There's this nice circular muscle that we have on our skull around each of the ears. This is a big stress point for folks that clench their jaw or like to chew gum. And then taking those same fingertips to the back of the skull, just like this. And then our goal here is to massage outward, right? So massaging outward, and maybe you enjoy that jellyfish as well, back and forth, but really focusing on that outward pull, right? Just like this. Maybe getting down in the back of the neck, focusing on that outward pull. Beautiful. And then top of the scalp, so we have a big band of muscle running from the front of the forehead all the way down or on top and then back of the scalp. So taking time here to really get into that, right? You might skip the forehead for now because we're going to get in there, but enjoying just massaging this big strip of muscle on the scalp. Let the hair get messy. Beautiful. Maybe there's a spot that you just don't want to move from. Don't. You do you, right? Beautiful. Release when you're ready. Let's do a few neck circles here, starting out small and slow. And then let them grow bigger and bigger. Taking time to explore and enjoy sensation. And then when you're ready, switch directions, nice and slow. Beautiful. On an inhale, let the face rise up to neutral. We're going to do one more vagal stim before we massage the face with optional oils. So for this vagal stim, we're going to interlace our fingers, dropping the thumbs down just like this, and then place them at the back of the head. So the thumbs are down on the neck, the palms are cradling the back of the head, and then we're going to open our shoulders, so gently squeezing the shoulder blades back, and then you're going to look towards your right elbow. Feeling the muscles around the neck tighten. Now you can look with your eyes closed or your eyes opened, but I find that I get a better eye muscle engagement when my eyes are open. But you decide. Breathing deep into the belly. And then if it feels good, turn the eyes towards the other elbow without moving the face, right? It's just the eyes. Maybe a yawn comes up. That's all right. That's the point. Feeling calm and regulated. Doing this before a meeting or presentation can be wonderful. Release when you're ready. Let the hands float slowly down. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a headband on just to get my bangs out of my face. But do what you would like to do to prepare for the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so of a face massage. Now you can join me with a gua sha stone if you were like. I'm not going to model one for class today, but I will in the future. I'm going to use my fingertips, and if you haven't or you don't normally use your fingertips, I encourage you to today. Wash your hands if it feels good. And then the beauty of using our fingertips is that the sensory feedback is so intense, both for your face and neck receiving touch and for your fingertips feeling sensation. So whichever lotion or oil that you have chosen, we're going to go ahead and put it on now using a generous amount, but rather too much for face yoga and massage than too little. And instead of rubbing it on our face, I put a generous amount on my hands and we're going to tap it in from the top of the forehead down all the way onto the neck towards the clavicles. Ooh, sorry, microphone. We tap it in or pat it in. Some folks like a gentle tapping. Some folks like a pretty strong sensory feedback. And then once you feel pretty well covered, then we glide the fingertips over, making sure that every spot is covered, but we're leaving this space right around the under eye and the eyelid because we're not going to get into that today. Again, you can always add more oil. My skin soaked that up like it was nobody's business. All right. For lymph drainage, we always drain from the outside towards the heart, from wherever we are in our body. So if we were starting with our legs, we would start with the toes on up. Because we're starting at the face, we're going to start at the top of the forehead and move down towards the clavicles. So to drain fluid from the forehead and invite new blood flow, we're going to take our right hand, pin our fingertips at the midline of the forehead, and then I'm going to use my left hand as a gua sha or a squeegee. Again, my opposite fingertips are going to meet. I'm going to press them firmly in towards my skull and then pull out towards the temple, just like this. pulling out towards the temple. If we're using a gua sha stone, it's the long, flat side that we use for this. You can do this 4 or 5 times. You can do it 10, 12 times. But your last time or two, you're going to pull towards the temple and then continue down the side of the face, down the neck to the clavicle. One more time, all the way down. Take your time, nice and slow. And then switch sides. The left hand becomes the anchor that pins. The right hand becomes your gua sha. Pulling from the midline out towards the temple. This is wonderful because over time, this muscle here cinches up, right? We get lots of creasing here, tension, headaches. And so this is a wonderful tool. For your last 2 glides, bring it all the way down. All the way down. From the forehead, we move to the top of the cheekbone. So from here, we're going to take our right hand and we're going to pull our nose on over. With our left hand as the gua sha, I'm going to gently press my fingertips into my nasal fold and pull any stagnant fluid out towards my blush spot, right? Towards the peak of your cheek. Once we've done that a few times, we're going to take all 4 fingertips of our long-sided gua sha stone, plant, and then following the cheekbone, the bottom of the cheekbone, pull on up towards the temple. So again, meeting at that nasal crease, pulling on up, following the cheekbone. Beautiful. Your last time or two, we're going to stop at the temple and then we turn our palm down towards the earth, pull that fluid down. One more time, turn and pull. It gets easier the more you do it. And then switch sides. Really getting into that nostril fold, right? With 1 or 2 fingers, whatever feels good. And then when you're ready, all 4 fingertips, follow that bottom ridge of the cheekbone. I wanted to say jawline. That is not it. In your last 2 swipes, turn the hand, pull it down towards the bottom of the neck. Beautiful. From here. So to do a little more of a release of these sides of our lips, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to anchor the bottom corner of the left side of my lip right here. Just press it in towards my gums. And then for my opposite fingertip, I am taking this strip band of muscle right here and I'm just going to press gently in and rub back and forth from the corner of my mouth down towards the chin. So it looks like this. I'm pinning it and then I'm rubbing back and forth from top to bottom, getting into this line of muscle here. This can also help if you're like me and your skin tends to pucker right here on either side of the chin by pulling up. We loosen that little strip of muscle right here. And then switch sides. Seems a little precarious. This works great if you're using a gua sha stone. You press the flat edge in and you make a little sawing motion back and forth as you pull it down towards the bottom of the chin. We're just simulating that with our fingertip here because it is just as effective. Beautiful. From here, we'll move in towards the jawline. And this is my favorite. Take a moment, check in with the hips. Do we need to move the legs? Wake them up, give them a little shake, right? Love on our bodies, choose comfort always. And then from here, the right hand is going to pinch the bottom of the chin. I forgot to tell you, your left hand becomes an anchor. So first, just like with your forehead, the 4 fingertips press into the chin as an anchor. And then that right hand squeezes the chin. And what I have going on here is I have my first finger curled in like this, my thumb extended out, and then I'm pressing it back towards my jawline as I pinch down, just like this. And the motion is we're gonna keep that pinching pressure and just pull this all the way back and up towards the bottom of the earlobe. But we're gonna anchor with those opposite fingertips first. So once your anchor is secure, press that thumb in, pinch down, and draw all the way up to the bottom of the earlobe. And take a moment here, like if you've never felt your own mandible, like your own skull, really feel what it's like as your fingers travel along the face. Maybe you linger on a spot that feels extra intense. Maybe there's a lump of muscle you want it to work into. Pause wherever feels good. And then on your last two swipes, we're gonna stop at the earlobe, and then taking the outside of our hand of the pinky, just like a karate chop, we're gonna plant it up underneath the jawline, press it in, and then pull it down like a squeegee for a window, right? Press it in, pull it down. Let's do that one more time. Press it in, pull it down. And then we'll go ahead and switch sides. So anchor with the opposite hand, and then pinch, pull, whoop, towards the earlobe. I really like, because the muscles around the jaw and the neck here are larger than other spots on this face, I take the longest time at this part, because I really want to get into those muscles, find some release and relief there. And then on your last two, turn the hand, press it in, pull it down. Let's do three, because we did three on the other side. Beautiful. From here, we're going to continue the good work that we have been doing. All you're going to do is use the flat side of your hand on either side to press in towards the jawline, and then gently squeegee any fluid down from the neck. And you're going to start at the midpoint, right? Not directly over the midpoint, because you have vocal cords here and a trachea, but just to either side. And then move a little closer to the earlobe each time, following the jawline. You might notice your skin turns red as we do this massage work. That's blood flowing to the surface. Invite it. Think of it as new nutrients for the skin that it didn't have before. When you're ready, switch sides. You can already notice like there is an immediate difference when we assist our body with lymph drainage. And this goes for any place in the body, not just the face. So taking your time from chin to earlobe and back again, just gently squeegeeing. I really like to get on the side of my neck up underneath the earlobe. That tends to be a place that holds a lot of tension. And then when you are done, one last place. Now, we're going to take our two knuckles, we're going to bend them in, and then the mid-flat part of each knuckle, these parts here, we're going to place against these big muscles right back here. And you'll know which muscles they are because you're going to clench your teeth. You're going to feel them bulge out, and that's where we're going to massage. So the flat part of the fingers presses in, and then as you massage, just pressing in and drawing circles, just like we did with the ears earlier, you might play with slowly opening and closing the jaw. How wide can you open your jaw as you do this? How slow can you close it again? Maybe you notice your jaw sticks in places. These are signs of tightness and tension. And then take a moment or two for some free-for-all massage. Maybe there is a part that you're like, oh, I just need a little something, right? Maybe you want to get up with that gua sha stone underneath each ear, relieving this tense band of muscle that runs from earlobe all the way out towards that deltoid muscle in the shoulder, right? Whatever feels good. Maybe it's the forehead that was delicious for you. Maybe you just try everywhere. Beautiful. As long as you're moving in a general top to bottom direction, there is no bad move you can make here. And then I want to show you, if you don't have all of this time for gua sha massage, you can really easily use your hands to move through it quite swiftly, right? It would look like this for the forehead. And then for the face, we make this big O, right? Pressing our thumbs along the jawline here. So I guess it's kind of like an O like this. And then pressing in, we just pull out towards the earlobe. So we're getting that press underneath the jaw, and the pointer fingers are pressing underneath that ridge of the cheekbone. So it's not quite as effective, but when we only have a minute or two, it can be wonderful. I want to end our face yoga class with a little havening. This is a resource we used in somatics a lot, but studies show that it calms the heart rate, lowers blood pressure, and brings ease to the whole of the body, and allows us to more swiftly find embodiment or rest, digest, and heal during stressful times. It's as simple as finding a cozy seat wherever you are, and we'll start by rubbing our palms together. Might take that excess moisturizer or oil and feel the texture, the temperature of your palms rubbing together. Nice and slow at first, right? We're not in a rush. Nothing is in a rush here. And then you might rub all over the hands. You might even close your eyes for this and just feel the sensation of the hands rubbing together. Beautiful. From here, an option to move either hand across the body, and we either squeeze the shoulders or we rub and release. Rub and release, like you're trying to dust your arms off, right? But we're getting some opposite stimulation here, right? The left side stimulating the right, right stimulates the left. A few more times. You might make it soft and let it be a little tickly. From here, we glide our fingertips from the midline of the forehead out towards the side. And as you do this, can you feel your forehead? Can you feel the fingertips tickle the forehead? Allow the forehead to receive that sensation. Now, can you feel in your fingertips? Can you let your fingertips receive the sensation? Maybe your fingertips can tell that the forehead is soft. Maybe like mine, you have a scar and it's bumpy. And then last but not least, from the cheekbone, whoop, to temple. And it's just a gentle, soft tickle. Continue this for as long as you like. You can even cycle through again, rubbing the palms together, sweeping the hands down, right? Doesn't take long. Caressing the forehead from midline to temple and cheeks to temple. Beautiful. From here, we end our practice. And you might take some time to end it in more of a traditional style with me. Maybe you bring palms to the heart center in Anjali Mudra. On an inhale, you might feel the heart lift to reach the thumbs. As you exhale, you might take a gentle bow in the head. We take time to pour out gratitude on ourselves for having the willingness to show up, to explore, maybe to try something new. Maybe today was wild and we made it here in the nick of time. Take a moment and appreciate what it took to get here, the bravery, the time, the effort, the willingness. You did that. Let this care, this nourishment that you've offered yourself continue, even as your practice here ends. Notice every opportunity to show ourselves a little more ease, a little more slowness, a little more gentleness. Know that the light and the dark in me sees and honors the light and the dark in you. We are the same.